The number one mistake that I see people making when it comes to burning fat that's destroying their efforts is calorie restriction diets and calorie counting in general. So I'm going to explain why this is the biggest mistake you can make when trying to lose fat. Then I will explain a superior method that will work for you and will force your body to burn fat. The reason why calorie restriction is the worst method, it's a huge mistake and everybody makes it because there are dickheads out there telling you that this is how you lose fat. You go into a calorie deficit. But it doesn't work because you're still eating food. And so basically the hormone that is released every time you eat food, especially from carbohydrates and sugar, is called insulin. And insulin's purpose is to store the blood sugars once they get put into your blood. So when the sugar spikes in your blood, insulin comes up and it stores it in your cells. Insulin automatically inhibits any kind of fat burning at all. And when you have excess glucose and your muscles are fully saturated and your muscle cells, whatever, they don't need any more energy, the glucose gets stored for fat. That's how it works. That's how you became fat. And that's why you're stuck there. And so when you reduce the calories, your body isn't getting enough energy. You would have thought that that would have made your body use the fat for energy, but it doesn't, because for you to use fat for energy, your body has to change modes. So your mitochondria, you know what a mitochondria is, it's what creates energy. For pretty much as long as you've been alive, it's been using glucose to create ATP. That's our primary energy system. And when glucose is available, your body will use glucose to make ATP. But every time that your body finds a situation where there is no glucose available, for a severe period of time, your body has to change modes. And that's when you use ketones. And that's ketosis, right? And your mitochondria switches modes, but it takes time. It takes around 18 hours for you to switch modes. So you're using ketones for energy. And if you're not using ketones for energy, you're not using your fat cells. And if you're not using your fat cells aren't shrinking. Therefore, you're not losing fat. So like I said, like every time you eat, you're activating the insulin. And insulin is inhibiting ketosis because it's telling your body we've got glucose. We need to use the glucose for energy. So your body can't use ketones because now you have to use the glucose because it's available. The superior method that I was talking about at the start of this video, that's called fasting, but not just intermittent fasting, prolonged fasting. And prolonged fasting is where you go at least 24 hours without food, and this forces your body to use ketones for energy because there's no glucose, there's no insulin, so now your body has to use the fat for energy. And so it takes 18 hours for your mitochondria to switch modes. So after 18 hours, all of the energy that your body is using is coming straight out of your fat cells. When you do calorie restriction, your metabolism goes down. And like I said, your body still needs energy, right? But you're not getting enough from your food. So your metabolism goes down is the first thing. And the second thing is all the energy that it needs is just going to come from your muscle cells because like I said, you're using glucose. And because you're using glucose, you need to use your muscles because muscle fibers can be converted into glucose through gluconeogenesis. But your fat cells, they get used for ketones. They don't get turned into glucose, which is why your body can't lose fat when you're in a calorie deficit, but you're still eating. So that's the problem. And everyone fucking does this because like I said, there's dickheads who tell you that this is the way, guys. No wonder everyone's still obese. If your advice was working so well, then everyone should be, lean and shredded, shouldn't they? But no, because everyone, I think I've heard 99% of people who start these diets fail. And then they quit the diet because they didn't see any progress for ages. They lost a little bit of weight, but they didn't actually look different in the mirror. and they didn't get any of the benefits or the results they were looking for. They lost a bit of weight, because that naturally happens when you eat less food, of course. But weight and fat are different. You can gain muscle and get heavier and not get any fat. You can get lighter and not lose fat because you're losing muscle. So they're doing these diets, they're losing muscle, they're getting lighter, there's less water in their bodies, whatever. And yeah, they lose weight, but they don't feel better, they don't look better, they don't get any boosted health benefits or any of that stuff that you're looking for. Doesn't exist when you're doing these things, because it's not working. So I hope I'm actually educating you here so that you can change how you do it. I've got videos on on fasting and stuff. There's other videos. If you want to learn more about how to actually do it and implement it so you can make progress to this goal, you can check them out. I don't know where they are, but they're on my channel. I'm doing free coaching, so 1-to-1. So any one of you who wants to actually get help, guidance from me, I'll make you lose body fat and I'll get you all the results you're looking for in a couple of months. But you can book in the description. So anyway, good luck, bro.